Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title of this video, today I'm going to be giving you a tour of my new home, and many of you have speculated on where I decided to purchase property, but it is actually in Washington, D.C., one of my favorite cities in the US. If you've been following me for a while, then you know that I grew up in Baltimore, which is not terribly far from here, so I'm very familiar with the area, and I've spent a lot of time here in my younger years, especially around like college, and in 2020 I made the very bold decision to purchase property here sight unseen. Now what that means is I did not physically see the property before I bought it, but I did of course see many photos and video footage of the interior, and luckily my family lives pretty close by, so they were able to help me along the process. For the last couple of years I've been thinking about investing in real estate, and as I was saving my money I was kind of scoping around different areas. Los Angeles, where I currently live, has just an incredibly competitive and expensive market, and actually DC does as well, but it's a little bit more in my price range, a little bit more, not a lot. And honestly, once I started looking at properties in the area, I just fell in love with the city all over again, and it really just felt like in my soul the right place to buy. And this was one of the first homes that I saw remotely. I wanted to make this video as informative as possible. I'm not going to be doing too much detail on my home buying process. I can potentially make another video on that, but I am going to be telling you how much I paid for the property and some other information about it in case you are, you know, in the process of purchasing a home yourself. And also, like, this information is something that has always been really interesting to me. So if you're curious about what you can buy in the DC area and what the market's like, then maybe this video will be valuable to you, and hopefully will also be interesting. Now my place is not very large. I know many of you speculated that I was moving to like France, to the countryside, on 1,000,000 acres, and while that sounds ideal, that is definitely not what ended up happening. But yeah, my place is fairly small, but because it is in a historic building, it has really high ceilings, which creates the feeling that it's a much larger space. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just like obsessed with older homes. That is always what has been appealing to me. That's always what I have gravitated towards. So I'm really feeling grateful to own like a piece of history. This home was built in 1903. It is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and I closed on it for $595,000. So if you are interested to see what you can get for the $600,000 range in a fairly large city that is moderately expensive, then you're gonna get an idea in this video. I do want to get into the tour, so I'm gonna leave more information at the end of this video talking more about like what I want to do with the property and maybe a little bit more information on the home buying process. If you're interested in that, then stay tuned until the end of this video. But for now, let's get started with the tour. So here is my front door. I'm not going to go in the hallway because I don't want to disturb my neighbors, but basically this is where the entrance is, and if you look to the right of the entrance, I have a fairly large closet for coats and everything. I guess I can show you that. It's not super interesting. A couple of chairs that my dad left in here. And this is kind of the walkway into my unit. Like a little, I don't know, it's not really like a foyer, but it's just the walkway. I do have original floors throughout my unit, original wood floors. This is one of the most appealing factors of the unit. I love old floors, and I just think they look beautiful. I'm going to close these just so you guys get like the full experience. But when you're in the hallway, the first room to the left is going to be the living room. It has these beautiful French doors. I just think they're really, I don't know, charming. And when you open them, you have the living room. So here is the living room. Hopefully I am doing it justice on camera. This is probably my favorite room in the house. And of course, I just fell in love with this fireplace. It is the original fireplace and it still works. The first thing I did when I purchased this unit was have the fireplace professionally cleaned. I just wanted to make sure that it was like up to code. There were no fire hazards or anything like that. So it has been cleaned and it's ready to go with its little fire log in there. And when you walk over to the windows, you just have a beautiful view of my tree-lined street. It is like the most perfect fairy tale street that I've ever seen. I don't want to film my neighbors' homes too much, but this area, I mean, I could not have asked for a better area. DC is a very walkable city, which is something that I love. So you can walk outside, get groceries, get food, get coffee. And while you are walking around, you are just continuously in awe of the amazing architecture here. I just can't get enough. Okay, so this is the living room. Here's me for size. It's not huge, but it's large enough to fit the essentials, and I do have these just really high ceilings everywhere. I think I'm going to go around in a circle and just take you back through the unit, and pardon the floors. Again, they are very old, so they're creaking and whatnot. The second door on the left-hand side is the master bedroom, and I mean, it's empty at the moment, but again, beautiful windows, just overlooking the most incredible neighborhood. High ceilings, closet, beautiful floors. There's not much else to see here. This unit has a lot of closet space, which is something else that I really liked. Right now, there's just a bunch of, I forget what this is called, but whatever you put down under carpets, that's what this is for whoever lives here. That's basically it. So master bedroom, I do not have an ensuite unfortunately, but the next room is the bathroom. So here is the bathroom in all of its glory. We also have these amazing original tile floors. These remind me very much of the floors that we had in our bathroom where I was growing up in Baltimore. And this is another part of the apartment that I absolutely love. I mean, my place could definitely use some updates and renovations, but I would for sure keep this floor and the hardwood floor, absolutely. There's not much to see in here at the moment. I mean, it's clean, but it's just a pretty average bathroom. I threw up a shower curtain liner because there wasn't one, and here is what we're working with. This sink really bothers me. It kind of reminds me of like a gas station bathroom. So at some point, if I do choose to renovate, this will be one of the first things to go. But for now, it's a functioning sink, functioning toilet, functioning bathtub, although it doesn't drain super well. I do have to get that checked out. Otherwise, we are in good shape. I also have a little bathroom cabinet back here with a lot of space. You know, I couldn't help myself and I did buy some like towels and stuff. I've never had a home before that was just mine, so I had to, you know, I had to buy a couple things, but it's all very minimal since I'm not living here right now. Okay? That is the bathroom, the only bathroom. Now we are entering the second bedroom, or you could also use this as an office space. This one is still a pretty good size. You could definitely fit a queen bed in here and like a dresser, or you could do a desk over here. It has this cool kind of window. A lot of windows in this place in general, which is really nice. And then it has a big closet again, with some screens in it right now. But yeah, a lot of closet space. And again, that's pretty much it. Sorry that there's nothing else exciting in here, but hopefully this gives you an idea of the layout. All right, walking back out of the room, we again have the bathroom, bedroom, the living room, and now we are entering the dining room. This room is a little bit darker because of the way that it faces, plus it's kind of next to the other part of the building, so it doesn't get as much light. I'm gonna turn this light on in here so you guys can see a little bit better. This is what it looks like. I absolutely love this room because it's very large and it also has this cool little built-in. I feel like a lot of homes in Los Angeles also have built-ins like this. Maybe it's a china cabinet originally. You can put whatever you want in there. It's so cute. And it has this really basic chandelier with a bulb burned out. That's nice. It's very simple and just kind of clean looking. I feel like this video footage probably doesn't do it justice, but it's a great space. Okay, I'll leave the light on since it's getting a little bit dark. Now we are nearing the end of the tour. We have a couple of additional things. We have one large closet over here. This is like a utility closet. I don't know why I'm showing you guys the inside of closets, but we gotta have room for the spin mop, you know what I'm saying? And then finally we have the kitchen. It is behind this door, but I am actually going to prop this door open from this side so I can give you like a better look, because the kitchen is very small. Yeah, that's a lot better. This is the kitchen. I hate these floors, I won't lie to you. I think at some point I could definitely redo the kitchen, and I think the kitchen in general could be amazing with a fairly inexpensive renovation, although everything I have done to this home so far has been way more expensive than I thought it would be, so you know, stuff adds up really quickly. But this is the kitchen. We have a ton of storage space all over, even though it is really small. A lot of cabinets over here. I actually really like this sink, and we have the marble countertops. We have a gas range, which is also really important in my opinion. I much prefer to cook on gas than electric, but you know, you can't always choose. Over here we have more cabinets and this cool little like pull-out pantry for food. There's my tea, the only food I have in the house. This refrigerator is actually so nice. I am taking notes because our refrigerator in Los Angeles is absolutely the worst. It's so loud, it interferes with like every video I film, but this one is, I think, pretty new. It fits perfectly in this little spot. And that is the entire kitchen. I did open this back door for a little bit of natural light. It does get darker in here, but it's not too bad, and it's actually quite nice with the door open. If you have been following me on Instagram, then you probably have seen my obsession with green kitchens, and I really feel like this kitchen could be so amazing with a more open kind of layout. Like maybe keep a couple of the cabinets somehow, but rip this out, have some shelves, have a really beautiful like green back wall. And I think just changing the cabinets in general would make a big difference because they're pretty basic and boring. But again, we're working with it for now. Finally, one of my favorite parts is this little fire escape, and I have a tiny, tiny little patio. It is perfect for a table and 2 chairs. There's definitely enough space, and I have a great view of some very important buildings from my balcony, but I'm not gonna show you right now because we gotta keep it kind of low-key. But that's my little outdoor area. Coming from someone who has lived in cities for most of my life, any outdoor space in a city apartment is amazing and should not be taken for granted. It's getting actually a little bit later, so the sun is probably going to set in the next hour or so, and I'm going to head back to my parents' house, which is where I have been staying. But before I left, I wanted to tell you a tiny bit more information, and then I'm gonna go say hi to my neighbors like before I head out. I haven't met anyone yet, but I have talked to a couple people in email. Everyone in the building is really nice and friendly and has been very welcoming, which always feels good. So first of all, thank you guys for supporting me along this journey. I know I have been kind of secretive about it, but it's just been kind of a new process for me, and it has been really overwhelming at points. Again, I am so grateful to be able to invest in a property like this. That said, there have been a lot of challenges and stressful moments involved with purchasing a home that I had never seen before in person from across the country. I saw my apartment for the first time after landing in DC. My parents picked me up and then they drove me here so I could see it, and I thought it would be just an incredible experience, and instead I actually just felt so overwhelmed. I can't begin to explain, and it was really confusing to me why this happened. I mean, I think there were a lot of factors, including the fact that I slept for like 2 hours on the flight and I had not slept the night before. The previous owners also left this unit in like a very, very dirty condition, so it just felt a lot dirtier than it is now. And I think when you walk into your new home, even if it's an older home, you want it to feel clean and refreshing. And it felt really dirty, and it just kind of freaked me out. I was like, what have I done? Have I made a mistake? But I was able to kind of regroup, you know, buy some cleaning supplies, do a deep clean myself of the unit, and then I was able to look at it with like fresh eyes and a new perspective, and that was kind of when everything started falling in place, and I really felt like I had made a great decision. Now, I'm sure that no matter what type of home you purchase, whether it's new or it's old or it's any amount of money, I think that feeling of being overwhelmed is quite common. I had a lot of people reach out to me in DMs, and I am so thankful, people who have previously purchased homes in the past telling me that they understood how I felt. I think it just goes to show you that even really exciting things in life can also be stressful. I mean, think about like having a baby, right? Really awesome and also terrifying and stressful. Maybe you can't compare that to owning a home. I really don't know because I haven't experienced the baby thing, but yeah. The final thing I wanted to say is that I am not actually going to be moving here. I know a lot of people thought that Nick and I were buying a new home, and at some point, you know, we probably will, but for now, we are both comfortable living in Los Angeles. The reason I purchased this was kind of as a second home, but more as an investment property that I could use as a second home in the future. Like I said, it's really close to my parents and family, so I think it's a great thing to have kind of down the line, should I ever need to come here in the future and be closer to my family for an extended period of time. But in the meantime, I am going to be using it as a rental property. Now, when I first purchased it, my plan was to hold on to it for a year or so for myself so that I could kind of come and go back and forth from Los Angeles. But now that I've been paying a mortgage for several months and I've had other bills come up related to the unit, it just seems like the smarter decision to find a reliable long-term renter who can pay rent and also essentially help me pay my mortgage. I chose to do a 15-year fixed mortgage on this property, which was pretty scary for me, but I wanted to pay it off as quickly as possible and avoid paying any interest that I didn't have to pay. Now, the cool thing about a mortgage is you can pay it off sooner if you are able to, and potentially avoid even more interest, or you can save money that way. So we'll see what happens, but right now I'm content with the 15-year mortgage. I feel like I'm forgetting to tell you guys a lot of information, but I feel like I'll end the video here for now and let you guys ask any questions that you have in the comment section below. Please be respectful and nice, but other than that, nothing is really out of the question. I mean, nothing is really off limits, so if you have genuine questions, feel free to ask them below, and I will do my best to answer as many as I possibly can. If you guys want me to make another video on the home buying process and what I learned along the way, then let me know, and I am happy to make that. My ultimate long-term goal is to have multiple properties that are potential sources of income and equity. So this is my first step in that direction. I mean, I feel like since this is the first place that I own, I do feel, you know, very attached, and it's hard to imagine someone else living here, but I hope that they will love it as much as I do and just take really great care of it. And in that case, I'm happy to like share the space with someone else. Oh, I also wanted to mention, although you guys probably already saw this, that Nick ended up flying out from LA and taking a few days off of work to come support me in this process, which was incredibly amazing and loving of him. So he was here for the last 5 days, and I just took him to the airport on my way over here. He's flying back to LA before I am, and then I'll probably hang out with my family for the next week or so, and then I will also fly back to LA. Something else that I wanted to say is that I had originally planned to buy a sofa or a couch for this apartment, which was definitely jumping the gun. You may have heard me talk about it in like a couple videos ago, but I don't know, I just got like so excited. I wanted to have like one piece of furniture in here. I was hoping that I would be able to film some vlogs here, and I still might be able to do that depending on whether or not I have some work done here and I have to like come out again. But the money that I was supposed to use for the sofa or the couch ended up going towards repainting the unit, which was significantly more expensive than I thought it was going to be. To tell you guys very blatantly, I got a quote to paint the whole unit since it hadn't been painted in over 10 years. And I just thought it would look a lot nicer. And it does, but my quote was like $3,000, and then I ended up having like the ceilings painted, the closets painted, and the cost of paint alone was astronomically high. I think I spent $1,400 on just paint alone, which completely blew my mind. And the total cost of painting the apartment ended up being just under $6,000, I think, which was over budget by thousands of dollars. So that's where the sofa money went, but I think it ended up for the better, because if I bought a piece of furniture, I would have to like move it to my parents' house or find storage for it, and that wouldn't be very practical. Okay, now I am really going to end this video. Thank you guys so much for your ongoing support. Thank you for your viewership, which has enabled me to purchase my very first home. And yeah, I'm just feeling very grateful for all of you. I hope you're all having an amazing day. I will see you very soon in my next video, and I will talk to you then. Bye.